Let me go ahead and start going live everywhere. Make sure that we good. All right, y'all. So y'all see the topic on the board. If you would like to talk about what I have on the board, go ahead and hit that request button. Hit that request button, and we can go ahead and have that conversation. We can go ahead and talk. Let me know what y'all think. I'm just making sure that we live everywhere. Yeah, it looks like we are. All right, cool. Looks like we are live everywhere. All right, y'all. So once again, if you would like to talk about what I have on the board, the request button is on the screen. We can go ahead and have that conversation. I appreciate any conversation that anybody wants to have. If you comment that you either disagree with something I have on the board, or you call me stupid or something like that, I'm just gonna go ahead and invite you up. Or if you drop a question, I'm just gonna go ahead and invite you up, because might as well have the conversation, might as well talk back and forth. All righty. All right, got our first guest. All right, can I get your name, please?
Sure. Not the mama.
All right. I guess we'll call you not the. All right, not the. All right, not the. So, are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm 41. I can do any one of them. I disagree with all three of them. America has been great since the beginning, almost. Black America should not get reparations, and leftist policies are completely evil policies and should not be mainstream policies.
Okay, cool.
So in the beginning, you feel like talking about.
Yeah, we could talk about all three. All right. So in the beginning of America, we had slavery. That's great.
Well, the whole world is slavery. Half the world still is slavery.
I'm asking about America.
Well, I'm just saying America was with the whole world. I mean, slavery is bad. So
okay, so cool.
So you hate Africa today, right?
Okay, cool. So slavery is bad. So that means that
so Africa bad.
So slavery was bad. So that means that America wasn't great during slavery.
No,
how about being second class?
It was a bad policy.
Yeah, so America wasn't great because it protected that policy.
Well,
so
one bad thing counteracts all the good things.
Slow down. America.
So the good don't matter.
Slow down. No, it doesn't, because once you have once you have a class of people who are not considered human, your society isn't great. It doesn't matter anything else that you do. You're not going to call the Third Reich great, are you?
You're looking through a modern perspective.
Hold on, stop. Listen to my question. You
just said a statement.
Hold on. I did ask you a question. I asked you.
You said a statement.
No, I asked you a question. I said, do you view the Third Reich as great?
You asked me a question. Yes.
Yes. Do you view the Third Reich as great?
Absolutely not. Why would I?
Because they viewed a part of the population as non-human. The same thing America did during slavery. It doesn't matter about. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Let me just finish. It doesn't matter of all the other quote unquote good things that America had at the time. Protecting slavery automatically makes you not great, because you have a part of your population that you don't consider human. Period. You can't make excuses for America.
Half of our country put their lives on the line to end it.
Let me just finish what I'm saying.
Dude, are you ever going to stop?
I'm going to stop, but you keep interrupting. Let me just finish what I'm saying.
I've been trying to talk. You've been talking for 5 minutes straight.
Let me just finish what I'm saying, and then I'll let you talk. My point is that if you have a population, if you have a certain segment of the population that you do not consider human, your society cannot be great, no matter all the other good things that you do. You can't say that the Third Reich wasn't great because they viewed people as not human, but all of a sudden America is still great, even though during that time they didn't view people as human. That makes no sense.
America was still great, yes.
So the Third Reich is great according to you, according to your logic.
I didn't say that. You keep putting words in my mouth. I'm not saying Third Reich is great. I'm saying America is great. Right, and it's still great today.
According to your logic, even though society listen, let me just finish. You said that the Third Reich isn't great, but America was. However, they both had something. They both had something in common. Both of them had a part of their society that did not view them as human. So if you said the Third Reich is not, but America was, even though they had a society, even though they had a portion of society that is that they viewed as not human, your entire premise is flawed.
Are you done? Can I go now without you stop me in 3 seconds?
You're gonna bitch and we can have the conversation.
Okay, listen. When you determine something is good or bad, you look at more than one thing. You don't look at one bad thing that counteracts every good thing they've ever done. Not one person is all good, and not one person is all bad. You look at pros and cons. You look at the balance. If we want to break America down to a percentage, and you break down our morals, our merits, our beginnings, our everything on a scale. Let's say those old ass scales that has the lady in the middle and they're balancing on both sides. I think it weighs more on the good side, especially as time has gone forward, because half of America thought that's evil. We need to stop doing that because we shouldn't be doing that slavery thing. So half of Americans, white and black, mostly white, took their lives to end it. They gave their lives to free everybody in our country. While your same practice today is going on across the entire world. Okay. I don't hear not one bitch whining about the entire world. America abolished it with Christianity, with Western society, and today we are the biggest, greatest society to ever run this plane on this planet.
Okay, so several things wrong. Number one, they did not fight to end slavery. Lincoln himself said that if I can keep the Union and not free a single slave, he would do that. So they weren't fighting to free slaves. They were fighting to keep the Union. Hold on, they weren't fighting to keep to free slaves. They were fighting to keep the Union. That's number one. Number two, yes, we have to look at all of it, right? The way that I determine a country is great is not by their economics. I determine it by their morals, and if they uphold their principles, what I consider pro-social, pro-human principles. Now, America does put out that they have pro-social, pro-human principles, right? Freedom of speech, liberty and justice for all, equal opportunity, et cetera, et cetera. All those I agree with. Those are pro-social, pro-freedom, and pro-human principles. Does it actually build institutions to protect those things? We've seen from beginning of America up until now, it does not. Because you said that from the beginning of America, it was great. However, in the beginning of America, in 1776, we had slavery. It didn't enter 1865, almost 90 years later, and it protected the institution. And then after that, it made sure that Black Americans could not move forward from black codes to Jim Crow to redlining. Now redlining did end in the 1970s, right? Officially on paper. Does redlining still happen today? And is it still protected today? Yes. So that's why I said, hold on, let me just finish. Let me finish. That's why I said America was never great. The race
hustlers say it still happens, but real Americans know it doesn't. So go ahead.
What do you mean, real Americans? What the heck is a real American? If you're born in America, are you not a real American?
What happened? What is going on?
I don't know. I'll just ask you a question. I just ask you if you're born in America, are you not a real American? And you didn't answer.
Did you do something?
No.
I can't fucking... Really?
I didn't do anything.
You kicked me? Seriously?
No. Dude, I'm right here. No one kicked you. I don't know. No one kicked him. Like, my hands are right here. Like, no one kicked him. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. All right. We're going to go ahead and move on since I don't know I don't know what happened to him. All right. Home Fry, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And yes. What number did you want to talk about?
3.
All right, cool. Let's talk about number 3. Give me 1 second. All right, Home Fry, you want to talk about number 3? Leftist policies are good for society. Did you want to know which policies that I'm talking about, or you just want to go ahead and get into it?
Oh, wait. I don't think leftist policies are good for society.
Right, I know. Did you want to know which policies I'm talking about?
I don't think... Like, the whole LGBTQ movement isn't good. Letting illegal immigrants run around this country like cockroaches is terrible. Giving them credit cards and health care and all this shit. Also, the spread of the LGBTQ stuff to our children, fucking absurd.
Okay,
men can be women can be men. Hold on. Shit's crazy.
Let's slow down. Yeah. All right, cool. Let's first talk about LGBTQ people. LGBTQ people exist, right? It's a disposition that exists in humanity. No one's ever going to stop it. So,
you can stop it if you want.
Be quiet. So, LGBTQ are people that exist within society, right? No one's going to stop it. Saying that you can stop people being LGBTQ is like saying you can stop me from being black. It's not possible. They're always going to.
It's immutable.
Stop. Let me finish my point. I'll let you finish yours.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry.
So, yes, LGBTQ people being LGBTQ is immutable. There's nothing you can do to change it. But hold on. There's nothing you can do to change it. So There's nothing you can do to change it.
Source.
Science is the source.
Because science used to say it was a mental illness.
Yeah, I know, and they were wrong, and they admitted so because gay people existed back in Greece. So how the fuck is it a mental illness? This is stupid. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on. There's nothing stopping you from that. There's not when it comes to being LGBTQ. At the end of the day, even if you claim that it can change, adults should be able to do whatever that they like as long as they're not harming anybody else. Even if you were to say that that this is something that you can choose to change or whatever, sure, let's even give you that, right? You're wrong, but let's give you that. At the end of the day, they have a right to express themselves the way that they want because they are adults, right? So if you're gonna if we're gonna have a society where we think that we should be protecting people's freedom of expressions, then that means that being LGBTQ should be completely legal.
Okay, so what if twin brothers who love each other and want to express their love towards one another intimately, would you allow that?
I don't give a fuck, no.
So you'd be for it?
What do you mean for it? There's nothing to be for or against. I just don't care what they do.
Like, so you're fine with two homosexual men celebrating their love for one another. Would you allow two twin brothers who love each other and want to have smecks to celebrate that too?
Go ahead. That's not my business.
That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, I'm a mod. We're not going to compare incest to homosexuality.
What's the difference?
There's a huge difference.
They're not related. That's the difference. They're not related.
What does that have to do with anything?
One, they're not related. Number two, homosexuality, just like heterosexuality, is a sexual orientation. What you're just incest is not. So we're not.
Yeah, there is a word for it actually.
Yeah, we know what the word
No,
is.
it's not. It's not a sexual orientation.
Yeah, it's not a sexual orientation.
There is a sexual orientation for it.
It's not though.
Hold on, but everybody pause. Listen, two dudes having sex, whatever they want to do, is none of my business. Neither is siblings. It's none of my business. Now the issue is I understand that it can be harmful towards the gene pool if a brother and a sister have children, which is why
I didn't bring up a brother and sister.
Hold on. Let me just finish, dude. I understand why someone will make them breeding illegal because that could mess with the gene pool. That I could get that, right? But if they're just if they're siblings and that's what they do, I really don't care.
Yeah, but even if you're a leftist, you could just get an abortion. It would be fine.
Yeah.
So who cares if?
Yeah, and they should in that case.
And they shouldn't have, because they're messing with the gene pool.
But here's the thing: it would be your party that would be against that, because in the case of a child, and specifically a young girl who is impregnated from her father, your party advocates for her to keep that baby, despite her being a literal child. That's what y'all advocate for.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say thing. Y'all advocate for that home fry because if
the incest.
Yeah, because if
hold on,
let me just finish.
No, we don't advocate for.
The host just said he doesn't care. What
can y'all pause? Y'all stop.
Okay.
Stop. Everybody pause. All right, listen, home fry.
Who is this bitch that keeps interrupting me?
Oh yeah, you're getting dropped. You're getting dropped.
Oh yeah. I'm the mod. That's the bitch that's gonna drop for you.
Yeah, we're dropping.
No, but notice he didn't do. It's the moment I came up, a woman, of course.
Yeah, we're gonna drop you. We're not doing that because ain't nobody insulted you this entire time. So anyway, we ain't doing that. So we're dropping you. Honestly,
I'm like, despite you being a literal idiot, I didn't call you that once.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right, guys, y'all go ahead.
Now that's the one thing I will disagree on. That I don't care about incest. No, that I will disagree with Volcy. But technically. But even in that case, like, it's not the same thing. Y'all know that. I'm tired of y'all comparing apples to oranges. Like, and you only do this with homosexuality. I've noticed. I have never heard y'all compare heterosexuality to two brothers or having like, y'all are weirdos.
This is weird.
Why is that even in your head?
People are weird, bro. Like niggas is weirdos. And the thing is, when I say I don't care about it, I find it gross. I definitely find it gross. Like, that's not something that I imagine, right? I find it very, very gross. But will I just be busting into people's houses and stopping it? No, I'm not doing that.
I mean, I'm like, yeah, but I don't think it should be socially accepted. Homosexuality. I'm like, but laws. It's a problem. Only in the case of reproduction, I will say. In the case of reproduction, yeah, there should be laws against that.
Yeah. I agree with that. That harms the gene pool. I get that.
So for reproductive purposes, yes, but technically, because two men cannot reproduce, they would technically not be harming anyone, but it's still gross, and I would still say immoral. But it technically would not be harming anyone because two people of the same sex can't reproduce.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all being here. We're already at close to 300 views over on the Deconstruction Junction. Thank y'all so much. I am the Cure. Go ahead and come on up since you want to complain so much. You can go ahead and come up. Hey, appreciate you over on the Volcy Thoughts channel. Why we thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all being here. What's his name? The Mausoleum Dollar, the Zoller, whatever your name is, over on my YouTube. Since you laughed at reparations, go ahead and come on up. We can go ahead and talk about it, and let's see if I am the Cure would like to come up, unless he's too scared. Folks,
yeah. By the way, y'all, I'm like, if I go silent for a minute, it's because I'm getting in the list from the library, because Black girls, we read. Period.
Exactly.
I'm like, I read books and people.
Exactly. We read books and we read people. All right, y'all. All right, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead.
I didn't say there should be laws against reproduction. I said there should be laws for reproductive purposes in the case of incest. I did not say reproduction as a whole. That's not what I said. You're missing context because we were talking about in the case of two siblings. That's the reproductive act that could come from that should be outlawed. That's what I said.
Yeah, and that I agree with. I agree that in the case of incest, that reproduction should be outlawed. I agree with that. All right, Tallest Munchkin. All right, Munchkin, how's it going? Are you at least?
Hi.
How's it going? Are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
I'm 34. So I love the topics. One, I think America was never great because prior to America being called America, there were indigenous people all over this land who did not call it that. And it was great at that point, but not then. I kind of agree with all of your talking points. Black Americans should get reparations. Happy Juneteenth, by the way. And then leftist policies are good for society, right? Like, are we in agreement that leftist policies are progressive?
Yeah.
They seek to include like all walks of life. Okay. So you made a comment like during the last conversation that I wanted to ask you like a personal question on.
Sure.
And you said as long as as long as an adult is not harming somebody else, then like it doesn't matter really what they do. Like it's up to them what they do with their body, what they do sexually, what they do, et cetera, et cetera. So I was wondering if you still feel like that about, let's say, like animal rights. I'm wondering, like, I know it's like super off topic, but this is like a huge passion for me.
Are you talking about bestiality in particular?
Well, yeah, bestiality. This is like a huge topic for me, and I think like,
but that harms the animals.
Yeah, that still harms a sentient being.
Right. But I think what most of our community doesn't realize is that even the food we eat is a product of bestiality because these animals are forcibly impregnated. So, like, I'm bringing this to the conversation because most people say most decent people say what you say, and most people would agree, like, graping animals is wrong. But then, like, when it comes to our food systems and that stuff, right? Like, people do not necessarily agree.
Apply it to the food system, yeah.
Here's
Here's
they
one thing
don't
that I've
apply
said.
it to cows and all of that
Cows
stuff. And
chickens.
then
Here's one thing I've always says. I think vegans are on the moral high ground, to tell you the truth. Is just that's why I never, I'm not one of those leftists that want to argue with vegans, right? Because I've seen that before. But it's like, I don't think we should do that, because vegans are they're right. Like, us going vegan would actually help the environment. Us going vegan would help, animals and stuff like that. I think the thing is that we have such a bias more towards human, and I do as well. Yeah, I mean, I have more of my bias towards humans.
But I think that's a natural bias.
It's a natural thing, yeah.
It's natural.
It's but and I don't think it comes from anywhere. I think it's the evolutionary bias to protect your own species. And I'm looking at that, I'm looking that also exists in the animal kingdom as well. I think that is a natural instinct to protect the best interest of your species.
Right.
Yeah, it just comes to the point of, okay, now, do we eat them? I think as a human, as human civilization, this is what we did to survive, right? We breeded chickens and cows just for us to survive, because we didn't know any better. Now that we have technology and we know a little better, and lab grown meat is a thing, you know what I'm saying? Do we have to now still kill animals? I think at a certain point,
exploit them.
Yeah, I think at a certain point in humanity, maybe about 50 to 60 years, the technology for lab grown stuff is going to be so perfect, it's going to be indistinguishable from steak, that we're not even going to have the whole steak industry anymore. You see what I'm saying? So it's
let me ask you this right quick though. So if you could get everything that you needed from a plant-based diet, would you then still continue to purchase or pay for the exploitation of animals? Because, like, what if I also told you that, the top 15 reasons why Black people die, why Americans die, prematurely, is heart disease, right? And that's directly correlated with how much animal products we eat, right? So it's like, even like Black people, including myself, anti-violence, anti-police, all of this stuff. But at the end of the day, like, heart disease is actually right. We don't.
But I don't know if I'm ready to give up meat.
Me neither.
I feel that.
No,
I feel that. But it's like, if we're really looking at it from, like, the animal's perspective, like, of course eating plant-based is going to be healthier for us. But if we're looking at it from the animal's perspective, it's like, we were treated like animals. We were, compared to animals, and that just proves how subjugated and, exploited animals are.
But I would argue, one, that we were treated actually worse than animals. To be quite honest, we were literally considered 3/5 of a human. But also, the thing about it is, it was wrong because we are human beings. And because we are human beings and our humanity was not recognized, that is what led to our subjugation.
Yeah, and the thing is, like,
rightfully so, we still fight for equal rights and all of this to this day. But how can we be
so much? I think like, I have no beef with your position, like, at all. I would even say, like, I've said this before, like, I need to start, lessening my consumption of meat and everything like that. It's just that, me being from the Caribbean, our diet is very, very meat heavy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's harder to do it, but, like, I do want to get to a point where my consumption of meat is slim to none. You see what I'm saying? I do want to get to that point. It's just, I said no beef. Yeah, I said no beef. But yeah, I don't have an argument or an issue against your position, because I know it's on the moral high ground. I've already admitted it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not going to argue against it, push back. It's like, yeah, they're right. I'm saying, but am I like mentally ready to give it up? Like, I automatically, think about eating something meaty with my rice. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to give it my mind has been
mushrooms,
so
beans.
much on it. Yeah, my mind has been so much.
If you're admitting it, the next logical thing would be to, like, move towards a plant-based diet. Maybe you just need some resources,
Resources, yeah, exactly.
and I get not wanting to I think that was KK.
I said I'm not ready to do, because a lot of, like, Volcy being Black American, that's tied to a lot of my cultural food.
Yeah,
I feel that. Yeah. I would highly, highly, highly recommend, especially for my fellow African Americans, that you look into, like, Black vegans, because, like, most of us don't realize this, but Black vegans are the largest growing demographic of vegans in the world, because we know it's not healthy for us. We know we're subjugating and exploiting animals. Like, we know we were treated like animals, worse than animals in some situations for sure. But it's like, you know, the white people weren't ready to give up their slaves even up until Juneteenth, even after Juneteenth. And we're not ready, you know, we're not ready to stop exploiting animals, but it's really not fair to them. Like, most of them are here from a product of rape.
Right.
You know,
so like, yeah, I want to get to a point to give it up. It's just that I don't know if I'm ready at this point, and I don't have the resources. Like, yeah, if I've heard of that mushroom that's just like steak, and so I just don't know where to buy that. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of things where I can still get my
mushrooms though.
Yeah, there's a point where I could get like
I don't like mushrooms.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but there's a point where I could get to like, you know, meat like products. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a problem with that. Like even when we go grocery shopping and me and wifey wants like we want to cook burgers one of these nights, I always say, hey, let's get the plant burgers. I mean, I always
do that. Yeah, really?
Yeah, because it's like I want to get to a point where I can lower my consumption of meat. You know what I'm saying? That's why I do that.
Represent.
But of course, you know, we still
I
get the
actually
chicken
heard the
like
Whoppers at Burger King. Thank you. I'm like the Whoppers at Burger King are technically vegan. They're technical. That's what I heard.
They have impossible patties that I believe they still do. Like the Burger King lets buy me clothes, and I don't eat that type of stuff anyways. But like I think Carl's Jr. still offers a plant-based burger, and Burger King, and you know, I think it's just a matter of resources. So if you're actually interested, and it sounds like you are, like I agree with all your points. Like I didn't come up here to be like hella confrontational or anything, but I was curious because, you know, you're saying, you know, as long as you're not hurting somebody else, and I'm like, do you consider animals to be somebody else?
Yeah. I've actually looked into personhood of apes, and I think we should adopt that. Like because gorillas, orangutans, chimpanzees, bonobos, they're all endangered. All of them. Yep.
All of them.
These are our closest, you know, cousins. You know what I mean? And they're all endangered. Like I don't want to lose. I don't want to live in a world without gorillas, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't want to live in a world without gorillas. So it's like we should give
elephants,
them elephants. Yeah. Exactly. We should give them their personhood. Yeah, I mean,
I love elephants. Though.
Would you eat an elephant?
Nah, I can't. It has to be for deep survival.
To be honest, the one thing I have wanted to try is shark. Though I've
heard of shark, and the thing is like I feel bad for sharks because it's like they don't be doing nothing, bro. It's like it's us that's so afraid of them.
Have you? I'm like they don't be anyway. I'm not even saying.
They say shark infested waters, but it's like, no, bitch. Sharks live here.
Yeah, sharks live there, bro. You know what I mean? Now,
here.
But it's Juneteenth weekend, so Black History fact. Do you know that I'm like that you could actually still trace the literal. I mean, they say you can literally still trace the boats, the way they came through the Atlantic Ocean,
through the sharks,
to many countries in the in the North and South American continent because of the way that the sharks go. Literally can still smell the blood centuries later.
Yeah, it's because of the sharks. Yeah, like
they say that's our biggest graveyard is in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah,
and
and
if you know anything about like how the ocean functions, the sea, that bodies can actually bodies can actually survive like the actual remains for a good time. I think centuries later. So the bodies of our ancestors actually may still be there. Technically, they might actually still be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some of the bodies could still be there. And like they said that like slavery took so much people from the continent, like it literally changed the climate. Like that's crazy. That's how many people died or were trafficked from the Atlantic slave trade. It changed the climate. Like the way that sharks move in the ocean are because of the Atlantic slave trade. Now sharks are dangerous, y'all. I'll be feeling bad for them, but they're still dangerous. Like don't get.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like really, Volcy, really? They don't be doing nothing.
No, but the thing is when the
dolphins don't be doing nothing. Dolphins mind their business, honey. Yeah. I love me some dolphins.
Yeah, now the thing is like, you know, these are all animals, right? So when the colonizers was throwing our ancestors over into the ocean, The sharks are basically like, you know, a free meal. They don't think any higher than that. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's
I'm like, and also it was so horrific that some of them even threw themselves over because I'm like that when I found that out, I was like, that gave me a whole new definition. Or give me liberty, or give me
death. Yeah. Give me liberty or give me death, and that was a death. But yeah, Munchkin, yeah, we're on parity. It's just, you know, hard to give it to me because of our culture, understanding, and stuff like that, resources. So
it's
yeah,
just hard to give up slavery because of our culture. You know what I'm saying? It's just hard.
Slavery wasn't culture though.
It was white people's culture. It was white culture.
No, they exploited people's culture. It wasn't culture. They literally, in fact, they gave up their cultures to become white in America. So there's that little historical fact.
Yeah. So all right, y'all. Let's see if we can
Thank you for having me.
Hey, not a problem. Not a problem. See, appreciate you
having me.
You have a good one. All right.
You too.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
No, I dropped it, but I think I cut her off. But
by the way, I'm officially home. The list took me home.
Oh, let's take you home. All right, awesome.
I'm like I said, I was at the library because Black girls read. We read books and people. Hello.
Yeah. There are some times where I think I probably should have studied library science, become a librarian instead of a counselor. But you know,
I don't think I've ever heard of a male librarian.
Yeah, there's not a lot of those. You know what I mean, so that'd have been dope. But I'll still be a counselor. You know what I mean, that's cool because
to be fair, also there's not that many Black female librarians either. To be fair, so.
Yeah, I don't know about Child Free. Remember Child Free sister from
Oh yeah, what about her? Is she a librarian?
She's a librarian.
You know what? I did not know that. That is so cool. I've never actually met one before.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's funny because she's the stereotypical sexy librarian.
Yeah,
so
she is. Yeah, she's just there. All right, guys.
I wonder if she wears glasses to work.
I think I saw a picture of her and she was wearing glasses. That'd be cool.
I see.
Oh man, see, that's what it is. All right, y'all. We just still waiting for anybody to come through. Of course, the first guy that came up, he pretended that I kicked him and then ran. And the second guy, you know, he insulted the mod. So we don't do that around here. I mean, okay, we got someone on the StreamYard. Name is Kevin. Kevin, are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
Oh, hey, yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You can hear him. Okay.
I sure can.
All right, great. All right, Kevin, are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
I saw the reparations one. I just wanted to know why you why would you think that would help?
All right, cool. I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes, Kevin. We're going to put about 20 minutes on the clock. You'll talk to me for about 5 to 10, and then you'll talk to Kay, all right? So I think that...
Yeah, cool. I don't have a lot of time, just so you know. But yeah, that's cool.
All good. So the reason why I think that reparations will help is, number one, the government the government and private industry economically damages the African-American community, both back then and in some ways still now today. If that was repaired, you would see the upliftment of an entire community that can benefit our society highly through their innovation, through their intellect, and everything that we can. And not only that, it'll be better for us economically because more people who have money in their pocket, more money circulating in the economy. And not only that, the American government has spent at least $20 trillion since the 1960s fighting the war on poverty, and much of that money has gone to this community. You know what I'm saying? And it hasn't panned out well because of all the other factors that are still in their way. You see what I'm saying? So if we get rid of those barriers by economically lifting them up, then we won't have to spend so much on poverty reduction and everything like that. And all the innovation that they come up with will improve our society.
Okay, so by reparations, you mean like handouts or like DEI or something?
Those are not reparations.
What do you mean by reparations?
Reparations will be compensation and change to structural issues in our society that affect African Americans.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not super informed, so I thought what most people meant by reparations was like compensation, like
compensation,
certain amount of money.
Yeah.
But okay, but like the second thing you said, like changes in the social structure or something.
Yeah, structural barriers that need to be lifted from our society. I think that should be included as well.
Like what specifically?
For example, like redlining is still a thing. If you are a black person in America, essentially, even if you have the same income and job and family structure, you can still get turned down for mortgages and loan at a higher rate. And not only that, your what's that thing called again? Your interest rate is determined on your race as well. Even if you have the same income to debt ratio, like on average, they found that black applicants either get denied at a higher rate or get higher interest rates simply because they're black. Nothing else. It's just because they're black. That's a structural barrier. So that's
you're talking about like a correlation between their race and then if they get higher interest rates or denied. Okay. Yeah, I probably believe you there. I mean, as far as like compensation goes, though, do you think like a certain amount of money would help long term if each African American was given a certain amount of money?
Yeah, well, it would go to households because I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kay.
Well, it would be households, but but yes, it would. Because first of all, let me just say this. Hi, Black American here. Well, as much as we love Volcy, he's our Haitian, he's Haitian brother, so he wouldn't qualify. So, so I am. So my family, is black. All of my family is Black American, and yes, it would help. For a multitude of reasons. Number one, it would help to fix the wealth gap between white and Black American families. That and it's there for systematic reasons. We could talk about the transatlantic slave trade in centuries of unpaid labor, down to the fact that they were offered 20 acres and a mule, and many Black people did not get that. We could talk about everything that happened after the Black codes, Jim Crow, also redlining. That the redlining, by the way, still the effects of that still affect African Americans today because the schools, particularly in redline areas, those predominantly Black schools, the Black children within those areas, it's highly underfunded. So that affects the educational quality of Black American children and Black American people. So there's multitude of reasons why, not only why it should happen, but how it would help our community.
Okay, yeah. I feel like you could probably generalize that, like a lot of economically poor areas are also like majority Black, but wouldn't you say?
But there's a reason for that, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not denying that. There definitely is, yeah. But I'm saying, like, shouldn't you across the board, like, subsidize whatever, like, education for economically poor areas and not just specifically Black areas?
Well, the Black areas in particular, that is specific because of the history of oppression. So, like we said, there is a reason why there are predominantly Black areas that are because of the history. Okay.
Yeah. Was that
so there are systematic reasons for those things, which is why it should be corrected. Because the reason that white people would be poor is not exactly the same reason that Black Americans would be experiencing poverty, and I think that needs to be addressed.
Yeah. I think like morally it definitely makes sense, but I think like it doesn't. I'm not denying the fact that that stuff happened and like it's horrific and there should be like things to make up for the consequences, but it doesn't mean that there's not economically poor areas and poor education with like majority white people either. So if you were to advocate
but the reason that they are experiencing that and the reason that Black people are experiencing that are not the same thing. And a matter of fact, I'm not even trying to sound fucked up or whatever, but white people had a 400-year head start in this country. So if you're, so if you are white, quite frankly, and you are poor, especially a white man and poor, your ancestors didn't white right. Truth be told, that's basically what happened. They didn't access they didn't use the fullness of the privilege to get them ahead, and that's not black people's fault.
Yeah. So here's what I'll
can I respond real quick to one thing?
I got you. Go ahead.
Thanks. Like when it comes to, I mean, if you're gonna generalize it like that, you could also say for each individual white family, there could be some sort of social economic factor that might have set them back at some point, and then
I'm not denying that though.
Yeah,
no, I'm not denying that. But here is the reality, though. The reason that that white people experience social economic issues, and the reason that black people is not the same. White people are not experiencing that because of the historical as well as current systematic oppression that affects their ability to climb. Mm-hmm. But the reason, but the specific reasons why it should be addressed for African Americans, but even with poor whites, even with the fact that there are poor white people, here is the reality though. White Americans, on average, the families of white Americans still have more generational wealth than black Americans. So that average needs to be equaled.
Yeah. So
right. Wouldn't that number be skewed by a lot of like white top 1% people then?
No, it's even when that's controlled for, they still find that the average white family still has more wealth. What's also found is that most poor white people actually live closer to higher income areas, so they actually benefit from that by proxy as well. And most black people, the poverty is more concentrated within their areas, away from areas that have more economic production. You see what I'm saying? So that was set up. So
it's harder to get out of.
It's hard to get out of, exactly. So it's set up on purpose.
And it's much harder. It's much harder for black people. Like I said, because of those systematic barriers, it is much harder for black people to gain to get out of those things. It could take generations for one family. One black family to get out, to even get close. And there's actually a saying, I don't know in Haitian families, but in black American families, there's a saying that we have that you have to actually work 10 times harder to get this, to get even half the thing.
Half as much.
To get half as much as white people. And and truth be told, that has rang true in a lot of my life. So.
Yep. All right. So did you have any other questions, Kevin?
Yeah. I guess my counterpoint there would be like, in terms of like compensation for each black American family, because she brought up generations, and I'm talking long term. If it's a certain amount of money to a specific generation, or just like that family in this period of time, there's no guarantee. Like, it could help them, of course, get out of a spot, but for like across the board, I don't know. I'm not sure if that would show like a marked increase in getting out of it.
But I address why it would, because it would equal the playing field a lot more.
But just for a short period of time, though.
Not necessarily a short period of time, because with that money and wealth, they would also be able to start businesses, and there will be as well as those things, which is also why I feel like financial literacy, free financial literacy courses should be a part of the reparations package. It should be a part of that, so that wealth, that newfound generational wealth can actually last within these black families.
Okay, so I guess in terms of compensation, are you just literally talking about money to their account and then whatever they want to do with it?
Well, it could be that, but like Volcy said, it would not just be that. It would be that plus social and economic changes. So to the infrastructure. So that would include things like restructuring possibly the criminal justice system as well as the medical system. It would be like I said, addressing historical issues such as redlining and all of those things. It would also include Volcy and I have talked about this in areas that have been historically redlined. He and I both feel that there should be things like trades within those schools for those Black children to be able to when they leave high school, so they could have a trade. I would also feel like possibly the similar situation that Native Americans have regarding having access to free college education. I think that would also be beneficial as well. So I think it could include multiple things.
Are you advocating for like socializing a lot of different parts of the economy then?
Yes, I am. I do.
I guess your third point is left-wing politics. Yeah, I didn't even see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not super informed on that kind of stuff, so I probably wouldn't be able to argue like for or against that. But I mean, what about like in Africa? Like I think it was Burkina Faso.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Ibrahim Traore? He cut off like charity, right, from Western countries because he thought it was keeping his population sort of content on the charity and not building their own economy, right?
Well, the issue with the aid, now here's the thing. I disagree with cutting off U.S. aid, what they would Doge, without replacing it with something else. But now U.S. aid and other aid organizations, they do have some issues because their aid has strings attached. That's why Traore cut it off, because they said, we'll give you the aid, but this resource that you have right here, the gold, the uranium, you have to give it to this American company, you have to give it to this French company, and then we'll give you the aid. So like the leaders before him were doing that, which is a lot of which is really the majority issue.
Basically, Volcy, they were being exploited.
Exactly. So like,
how are you being exploitative?
Hey, hold on. It's not your turn.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, I don't know who that is, but it's not your turn.
Stay on mute, and if you can't stay on mute until the previous gentleman finishes, then you could get off the panel.
Yeah, exactly. So stay on mute until we're up there. All right. So
I just asked a question.
Hey, you got to stay on mute. Don't do that again.
Do it one more time.
So
do it one more time.
So the issue is like one of the big issues in Africa is actually that where the aid from Western countries is tied to strings, and so is like the loans that they get from the IMF and stuff like that, or the World Bank. They have strings attached, and they demand that they service those loans at about maybe 20-25% of their entire economic GDP. When you do that, you're not going to have enough money to go around for services and everything like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it keeps them in a cycle of perpetual poverty, which is why Africa moved more over to China than they did to the Western world. All that makes sense, Kevin?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, I would believe that I don't know if it does more harm than good, but I would believe that it's sort of like malicious in the way they would set those loans up, because
yeah, they're very malicious.
We do like kind of exploit their resources a whole lot. So
exactly. All right, cool. Kevin, you had anything else, or it's okay? I'll move on.
Let me. Well, how about America was great? Just one more quick thing, I guess here.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I guess you would probably bring up like a lot of the imperialistic tendencies in our foreign policy, right?
That and the way that American citizens were treated, especially Black Americans, because when people say, look at America was never great, they're all thinking about like, we're the richest country in the world. All that's good and well, right? But we were the richest country in the world and still had Jim Crow. You see what I'm saying? So if you had like second-class citizens, if you have a system where people are viewed as less than human, I wouldn't view that as a great country. And the example I always bring up is the Third Reich. The Third Reich, didn't view Jewish people as human. And nowadays we will never call a Third Reich, a great country. So it's like, why would we call America a great country under slavery, under black codes, under Jim Crow?
Also, to the boss point, though, a lot of that wealth.
Yeah, can I join in too at any point, or
gentlemen?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You know what? I already told you that if you can't do that, oh my bad, Volcy. That's not what I meant. Okay,
I got you. There we go.
Okay. But since you can't follow directions, you can stay in the comments. Anyway, a lot of the wealth, in particular, that you were referring to, also came from enslaved labor, particularly the cotton and the tobacco, and the tobacco plantations. That made up a lot of America's wealth. And I think that also gets lost in the conversation that America's economy, literally, at one point, cotton in America made up for a lot of the world supplies of cotton, and that was done by enslaved labor for a good chunk at that time. So, literally, the free labor of Black Americans is literally what built America's economy.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to America, was never great, right? Because if we look at the character of what the country was doing, it would say one thing and do another. It would say, you talk about liberty and justice for all, but it had second class citizenship all the way even up till now. There's still second class citizenship. A lot of people think like have an idyllic idea about the 80s and the 90s. The 80s and the 90s were extremely racist. And people tend to like kind of either ignore or don't know about it. But the 80s and the 90s were still extremely racist. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure if you know
Biden was still saying the N-word in Congress.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if you know about Rodney King, but that happened in like 92, 93. So it was
also the 80s and the 90s was also the war on slugs and all of those things. So that's also like another thing. Also keep in mind, we have to contextualize that as well. That is freshly after Jim Crow. So a lot of America's mindset had not changed really regarding race and how and Black people's position in society. Because again, right, take it the context. Jim Crow ended in the law books in the 1960s, the 70s, the 80s. That is actually very freshly after Jim Crow had ended. That's only like 2 decades after. So a lot of the people that were coming up during that time, again, the mindset socially had not changed yet, not completely.
May I respond to what Kevin said earlier about reparations? Just like questions, like what it may.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Tam.
So my whole thing is like, when people ask what should reparations look like and what should reparations be, I think we have to remember and like educate ourselves about the fact that white enslavers, like European colonizer enslavers, actually got reparations for the loss of their workforce, which was slaves. So it's like, not only did they build all of these industries off of us, but like the majority of people who are millionaires are not Black people. The majority of people who have homes are not Black people. The majority of people who have $1 million homes are not Black people. The majority of, and considering that these people, our people, Black people, have done the majority of the work to build their railroads, to build the agriculture industries, like all of these things, like even the word cowboy comes from, the Black cow handlers in the animal agriculture. So it's like, if we're wondering what reparations should look like, it would mean that economically speaking, socially speaking, Black people have equal footing with white people. And we don't.
Right.
But I actually, the tallest, I actually kind of touched that, or not earlier, but you actually brought it the full home, because I did mention the wealth gap between white families and Black families, and a lot of that gap is actually due to literally what you just said. Family white enslavers absolutely received reparations for the loss of property, i.e., Black American people.
Yeah.
So a lot of that reparations that they gained also was passed down through their family lineage. And so even the descendants of those enslavers are still benefiting from that till this day. So yes, you are absolutely correct.
Right. They're all trust fund babies. Mm-hmm. They all have things that are going to be passed down to their great, great, great grandchildren at this point. And it's like the wealth gap is actually detrimental to not even us as individuals right now, but to our children, because it further creates the wealth gap. Like it further separates us.
Give me 1 second, guys, because we are now out of time. Kevin, did you want to talk about anything else, or we can go ahead and move on to?
Yeah, that's funny. I didn't know we were going that long.
No, not a problem. Well, I appreciate you.
I think I forget exactly what she said earlier, but I guess why do you guys think the African American unemployment rate? I think it's like nearly, I forget how much it is, but isn't it close to double other races?
Yeah,
I don't know why that will be, but what do you
think? Well, there is. It's literally racism, actually, because take into context that the most educated female demographic in this country, one of the most, if not one of the most, if not the most, I believe statistically, is actually Black American. It's Black women. It's Black American women, and since Trump in particular has gotten into office. What is it, like 34,000 or 400,000 Black women have lost their jobs, and these are highly educated Black women. Also, if you also take into context the things that Trump has been doing, specifically regarding what he considers degrees that should be funded. Exactly, to get you that education. One of those being nursing, because a lot of Black American women were going into the health field specifically because they wanted to address the things like such as medical racism towards Black women, and so they wanted.
Man, y'all just call anything racism. Y'all just call anything.
It's not your turn, so be quiet.
Your turn. It's not your turn.
Wait a few minutes.
I'm just gonna leave because I can't stand to listen.
It's not your turn, dude.
Bye.
Christ Almighty.
Bye.
What? Why y'all come up here and bitch? Jesus Christ.
Why?
He's from my state too. Like that's the crazy part.
Can I chime in on that?
It's always Florida, and Texas.
It's always Florida. It's always Florida. Anyway, but we do got to go ahead and move on to the next guest, Kevin. But I do appreciate you come back anytime for us to talk more. All right.
For sure. Actually, I appreciate that you do this with callers. A lot of people just kind of put their political opinions up and then just like to the camera. You actually let people on.
Yeah, gotcha. All right, appreciate you. Have a good one.
See you, man.
See you.
You too.
All right, guys. Once again, I appreciate you all. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next caller. Once again, guys, like please don't bitch and moan in the comments. We will get to you. All right. If it's not your turn, it's not your turn. We all learned this at elementary school, y'all. I don't know why that's so hard. Look, Psych was here for about 20 minutes. My next guest in the box. He was here for about 20 minutes and never said anything. It's really simple, y'all. Just wait your turn. My God. All right, let's go and talk to Psych.
Okay,
Psych.
really simple to follow directions and wait your turn. Also, 904. I'm like, do you think living in a nice home and having a nice computer gets rid of dismisses the fact that the social economic issues that absolutely are impacted by race? The thing about white people that's interesting to me is that y'all love to call Black people specifically victims, they're having a victim mentality for addressing the very systematic issues that not only that white people have created but benefit from to this day. Also, the biggest, I find that y'all have a victim mentality because every time that we come to address these things, the first thing that y'all like to do is play victim. So it is like you all that have a victim mentality
because they have a Darvo mentality, as a matter of fact. All right, let's get to Psych, y'all. All right, Psych, how's it going, Psych? Are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
Yes, I'm at least 18. I'm in fact 19. I go to college and I'm studying political science.
All right, which number?
The number I would like to particularly talk about is number 2.
All right, number 2. Yeah, Black Americans should get reparations. You said that you're studying political science, right?
Yes, sir.
Did y'all get to Black history yet?
No, sir. We're particularly studying. Right now, I'm particularly studying the foundation of the government and getting to the different
forms of government.
Presidents, yeah, like local government, state government, and how local government state and local government is the most important type of government.
Yeah, the state and local government.
Okay, I don't necessarily disagree with that.
Yeah, I'm disagree with that because that is true that he is learning political.
I think people need to really consider their local and state elections a lot more seriously. I do agree.
Yeah, so because that he studied political science because that's the same thing I learned. But all right, Psych. So you disagree that Black America should get reparations?
Yes, sir. Even though I am a Black man, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I kind of think that.
Well, you know that now. What do you mean you know that now?
I am a Black man, but I think that reparations would not be the best thing because it would kind of lower our mentality as such because.
It will lower our mentality. Let me.
Have you ever tried to buy a home? Have you ever tried to buy a home? Because if you realize how hard it is for Black people to get a home in a neighborhood that they want, where they want, with the interest rate that they want, you will realize like how disproportionately Black people are in the economic system, in the housing system.
Yeah, so you know about that. Let's kind of be fair, y'all, because I don't want to jump them all at the same time. Psych, let me talk to him first, y'all. Then I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys get in a second. All right. So Psych, everything that Munchkin just told to you, the issue of disparities in the housing market. We all know about the criminal justice system, disparities in economic and educational opportunities, which is why HBCUs were created in the first place. These things all impact the Black American sphere. So when you say that you think reparations will decrease our mentality, we didn't let you finish what you were trying to say. But what does that mean? Expound on that a bit.
I mean, I feel like it would be very demeaning to us as Black Americans and kind of further divide the country because if it's kind of putting that. Is kind of lowering us down as standards, saying that we need help when we can push ourselves further and uplift ourselves because.
Let me ask you this question, Psych. Since I'm not sure how much of American history you've learned yet, every time that Black people in America or Black Americans have done that, what exactly happened to those communities?
Most of those communities have went under and
why?
Well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily racism. I would say most of it is because most of it is Black on Black crime because Black on Black crime is more of an issue.
No, Psych, no. Psych, no. Psych, let me ask you this question: where'd you grow up?
I grew up in New Bern, North Carolina.
New-Bern, North Carolina. What's the demographics of it? You said
what's your ethnicity?
Are you Black American or were your parents from somewhere else?
I'm African American.
All right, so you
okay.
Newborn. You said North Carolina.
Now here's another question I want to ask. You said that you recently, I count that you recently found out that you're Black. It's kind of crazy. What does that mean exactly?
I never said I was. I never said I was. I never said I recently found out I was Black. I said I am Black.
Because I said recently something.
You said recently something.
I accept that I'm Black, but
you recently accepted that you're Black. That's kind of crazy.
No,
okay. Let's try to be fair. Try to clarify on what you meant, or maybe did we hear wrong? Did you say recently you did something at all? What was the recently?
I can't even remember. But
okay. No problem. We can move past it. Here's the thing. You said that that these communities they decline due to the Black on Black crime. But how was that? How would you explain Tulsa, Oklahoma? How would you explain Seneca Village? Or Lake Lanier, or Rosewood, Florida, or Ocoee, Florida? These were all areas, or Overtown, Miami. These were all areas where there was either a highway built through them, they got burned to the ground, they got zoned out by government policy. Anytime there was an affluent Black community growing, the government did something to it, right? And now that's when you see, like, for example, let me give you an example. I'm from Miami, right? I'm from Miami, Florida. there's a community there called Overtown. Anyone who knows about Overtown knows that that's a place where if you ain't from there, you don't go there. The reason they'll leave me alone is because they'll know from the way that I move or the way that I speak that I'm from the city. But the moment you have an accent that's not from Miami, they're gonna rob you. That's what Overtown is, right? However, back in the 60s, Overtown was called Harlem of the South. Every single time a black musical star would come down to Miami to perform on the beach, they would stay in Overtown because Miami Beach was a sundown town and black people could not stay there at night or else you get lynched. So they stayed in Overtown. Overtown was one of the most affluent communities of black people in the entire state of Florida. And today, you'll get robbed if you're not from there. Why did that happen? That didn't happen because of black on black crime. That's because the governor of Florida at that time built I-95 directly through Overtown, directly through it, right? So they had to eminent domain a whole bunch of buildings, and they zoned out a whole bunch of buildings for the highway overpass to go through it. And because that happened, now all of the economy of Overtown declined. And the number one driver of crime is poverty and proximity. You see what I'm saying? So if that didn't happen, Overtown will still be a wealthy neighborhood today. And Overtown's story is not unique. Several wealthy neighborhoods in America that were black had the same issue. It happened to Watts. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when you say that these areas decline because of black on black crime, I'm wondering exactly how much history have you actually read about this country?
I'm necessarily saying black on black crime is a major issue because racism is also an issue. I'm not saying
is white on white crime a major issue?
Racism is an issue also with black on black crime.
Hold on, psych. Hold on, psych. Listen to my question. Is white on white crime also a major issue?
Yes, I would say it is.
The issue is crime, not race.
But more, I would say more. We barely talk about.
We talk about it all the time. Every single person that has come up here to say that black people don't deserve reparations has said the exact same thing you have: crime.
What you're saying is a white supremacist talking point, and the fact of the matter is the fact that you just said you accepted being black lets me know that one, you probably grew up in a predominantly white space. That is literally the energy that I'm getting from you. Number two, that I don't know who your parents are, or what they exactly taught you, but it does not sound like your parents had taught you any pride about being black in your history here. So it sounds to me like you have a lot of internalized anti-blackness. Like I can literally hear it. It's reeking off this.
I didn't necessarily grow up in a predominantly white neighborhood. Actually, most of my family grew up poor, and then they had to bring themselves up by.
Sir, do you think that growing up poor means you can't grow up in a predominantly white neighborhood?
I never lived in a predominantly white neighborhood ever in my life.
What were the demographics? Where did you say you were from?
He said New Bern, North Carolina, and New Bern, North Carolina is like 75% white.
So you did grow up in a predominantly white area then. You did.
But my neighborhood
56%. Sorry, 56% white. I apologize.
Okay, that's still a large
majority. That's still a large majority. Yeah. All right.
So he grew up in a predominantly white area. So what he is saying makes sense in the fact that he has a white supremacist mentality, and that is the danger of black people bringing their children into predominantly white areas, but also within the same time not teaching black pride and history in their children. What you have is someone that sounds exactly like this, and I think that is more dangerous.
I do want to give Psych more of a chance to speak. I'm going to get to you Midnight and Munchkin. I'm definitely get to you as well, but I want to give you more of a chance.
Midnight. Actually, go on and found it. Then we're gonna go to Midnight real quick because I know Midnight got some tea.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so psych. Let me let's try to understand each other. Now, you said that receiving reparations would be demeaning because it would say that black people can't always need help and can't pull themselves up. The thing is, though, every time black people have pulled themselves up, it was always destroyed by a structure, and now we have barriers in place in order to make sure that black people don't get too far ahead. You see what I'm saying? So shouldn't we be removing those barriers, and not only that, giving African Americans compensation for the oppression that they faced in this country through slavery, Jim Crow, black codes, and redlining?
Yes, sir. But I wouldn't say you have to necessarily do it that way, because you don't necessarily know what those African Americans are going to do with the money. I mean, if anything, we have to look at what African Americans are necessarily going to spend with that money. That's why when it comes to things like food stamps, for example, most people sell their food stamps, but they don't necessarily use their food stamps to buy healthy snacks.
Can I ask you? I need to ask you two questions. Number one.
Oh my God, there's so many.
It's crazy. So, number one, psych, I gotta ask you a question. The first question I'm gonna ask you is: have you ever looked up any research on what African Americans actually spend their money on?
No, sir.
Right. So you're going off on a white supremacist assumption. Not sure why you would do that. Number two, when you
because it's probably heard these talking points growing up. It's always so uncomfortable.
Yeah, very, very uncomfortable. But like psych, it's kind of you don't think it's kind of crazy to say that we would need to look at what African Americans spend it on in a skeptical way, and you don't even know what they spend it on? Like that's kind of crazy, right? When you look at what African Americans spend their money on, it's necessities. Housing, food, transportation, etc. Necessities. All right. So if the reparations were to happen, that's exactly what they will spend it on. Necessities. But the second thing that I would say is that when you talk about, most people who are on food stamps sell their food stamps, where did you get that information from?
It's a white supremacist talking point. Yeah, because a lot of people do not. Most people don't do that. That's the point. Ooh.
Yeah. He's going in. He's going in and out. Oh, here, give me 1 second. Psych, you still there? You're going in and out of it.
Yes, I'm still here.
There you are. All right. So where'd you get that information?
My grandfather.
Your granddad told you that niggas is selling their food stamps, and you just believe that shit. Let's say I believed you that.
He comes from. But if that's true, that means he comes from a lineage of coons. Now,
that's crazy.
No, say my grandfather grew up in New York, and he.
I got you. I got you. Let's say I believe you that your grandfather told you that most motherfuckers are selling their food stamps. Can your grandfather be wrong?
Yes, my grandfather.
Yeah, so simply saying my granddad told me this, therefore I'm gonna believe it. It's kind of crazy because my grandma told me that my grandma told me that I'm gonna be 6'6" and play basketball one day, and that shit ain't happened. So she was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So
I still cannot believe how short you are.
Yeah, I'm a very small guy. Oh, you saw the photo with me, Serafina, and Bar and Skeptical. Yeah,
I mean, I have no disrespect towards you guys. I mean, I have
no. It's okay. What I'm saying is that the things that you're bringing up are kind of insane that you never actually looked into it. Now you're 19, so it's cool that you don't know all the information yet, but we have to just demystify a lot of this. Now I've been talking for a while. Kay's been talking for a while. I want Munchkin and Midnight to also.
No, let's get Midnight in first, honey. Midnight, go ahead.
All right, yo, I'm 38, from North Carolina. Grew up in New Bern. And I'm black. So my thing is, all right, where did you grow up?
I grew up in in New Bern. I grew up near Lake Tyler, and my grandfather he ran for sheriff of sheriff of New Bern multiple times, but was stopped by ship youth. But
so you go up somewhere near like Lake Tyler? Do you know about that?
Sign. Turn right.
Who's driving?
No, I'm parking.
Okay, cool. I'm about to say. All right, go
to Hillsborough.
Oh, child. I'm like,
yeah, please
I'm
park.
like midnight. Please park.
my granddad was deputy sheriff.
Yeah, all right. Let me know when you park midnight.
I'm like, listen, Volcy. I'm like, it is literally taking me everything to not open up a library book.
All right, I think midnight is about to park. All right, so Psych, you said you grew up near Lake Tyler?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Midnight, do you know what that is?
I do not. I'm familiar with Craven Terrace, Ox Chase Trailer Park, and James City. Those are the poorest areas.
I know what Craven Terrace is. It's like a 5-minute drive away, maybe 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, that's a bad.
Yeah, midnight. Park for me real quick. All right, let me know once you're done parking, and then come back. Yeah. Again, come back in when you let me know you're done parking. All right, but Psych, like, do you understand everything that we've been talking about so far?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Munchkin, did you have anything for Psych?
I don't know that I necessarily have anything for him. Like I grew up with a white mom. Like, my dad is black. Mm-hmm. We grew up poor too, but like, calling him a coon is crazy. Like, calling his grandma a coon is crazy.
He was saying some cool shit, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. He was saying some cool shit. Like,
I'm like,
it's
I'm like, well, that's not how. Well, of course, you're not racist, honey. Honey, that's not how racism works. However, you do have a lot of internalized racism. It's clear as day.
Yes, you do. And I'm not actually surprised by this. This actually is on point. Because in New Bern,
I will give y'all
go ahead. Wait, just give me 1 second, Munchkin. Let me let Midnight finish what he was saying, and I'm gonna get to you. I promise. Go ahead, Midnight.
Yeah. So New Bern is a predominantly white area. The black population, we here, we outside. But like, you will always run into like anti-black sentiments out there, and it's always it's very subtle, or as subtle as it can be in the South. Right, like they will, and all of it is couched in Christianity.
Of course,
a lot of it is couched in the church. So there's organizations where black people, white people come together, worship, praise the Lord. But then you will hear those talking points in conversations. You will hear those talking points in school. You will hear those talking points like from your teachers, from administrators, from educators, like. I'm not surprised to hear this. Actually, I grew up with people that thought these mindsets, and then once they got out of school and then really started living life, they learned, and they learned very, very quickly. The ones that didn't went through a lot of suffering and heartache because they thought they could depend on white people or YT people that they thought were their friends. But when when the rubber met the road, like, they weren't there for them. Like, I've heard those stories. I grew up with those people. So I was about to say, you said his name is Psych? Ice? Yeah. What
Psych?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Psych. Yo, like, please read a book, bro. Please, and I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, please read what happened to us. Please get our real story, because the people that are
about what happened to African Americans.
Well, so what books have you read?
Oh, wait. I think you guys were cross talking. Psych is actually up here. He's on my StreamYard.
He's on.
Yeah. No, all good.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
No, all good.
By the way, Midnight. What I had initially said to him, and based on the little things he said about his family, it's clear that not only was he raised, because we found out raised in a predominantly white area, but also his family seems to have issues with internalized anti-blackness as well. Well, I mean, were your parents very proud Black American people? And
Yes,
what was your family like?
Not you, Mumsky. Not you, Mumsky. We're talking to Psych. Oh, Psych. Go ahead, Psych. Go ahead.
My parents and my parents.
No, I'm talking about the Midnight, actually.
Oh, you're talking to Midnight. All right. So let Midnight talk first, and then you can go ahead, Psych. Go ahead. Go ahead, Midnight.
Yes, I was proud to be proud to be Black growing up early on in my life. Like my first figure, and it will speak to kind of what Psych is talking to a little bit. My first figure that like really struck out to me was Martin Luther King Jr. Of course, right? But like, I did a whole lot of digging as a child, watching documentaries when I couldn't read, right? And like, I learned about like how he really wanted to change homelessness. And that was something that I really cared about as a kid. And then I kept learning about like hearing slave stories and reading those books about the encounters of slaves, what life was like on a plantation, the hardships and struggles that they had to go through. And then I started getting into the heavy hitters like James Baldwin, Bell Hooks, like all of these other people, and Nikki Giovanni, like all of these other people that have like
my Sheila is Nikki Giovanni, Toni Morrison, and Maya Angelou.
Listen, James Baldwin is one of the best. He's my favorite. James is my favorite. That's my guy.
I have Franz Fanon, I have George Jackson, and I think I have Angela Davis. So yeah, we need to open up a Black book club for real, because we have so much to share.
Most definitely. Like bro, I would say Psych, read Go Tell It on the Mountain. That's a good one. Native Son as well.
Native Son. And what was that one by Franz Fanon? I think is Black Skin, White Soul, something like that. Let me look it up again. It's something like Franz Fanon.
The Spook That Sat by the Door.
Oh yeah, Spook That Sat by the Door was good. That one was good. Franz Fanon. I think it's called Black. There it is. Black Skin, White Mask. Yeah, Black Skin, White Mask. Read that. Yes. Definitely read that. Psych. Black Skin, White Mask. Native Son. What was that other one by Bell Hooks? Will to Change by Bell Hooks is really good. You gotta read those, Psych, because it goes really into the delving of not only our history but Black political thought, and not just Black political thought, but deconstructing things like misogyny and patriarchy. You see what I'm saying? So definitely read all those. Make sense?
But I
yes, sir.
But I'm gonna jump off because like the only reason why because I was listening. Thank y'all for doing the work that y'all doing. But I wanted to speak to Psych because like, bro, like I've been where you are. I know where you come from. I know the people that are there. I still talk to those people that are there. Sometimes I go and visit. Please keep living. Please keep reading. Like, I know it might be hard when people call you all sorts of coons and all that other stuff. And you're going to get that. I'm not like, until you change your mindset, you will see that. But unfortunately, they have really good reason to say that about you. But I'm just saying, please educate yourself because like you really need to like really understand what happened to us. And the problem with, and the crazy thing about it is we will never be able to fully comprehend that because there's just going to be some stuff that's lost in history because our ancestors did not want to talk about it. It was that bad. There are stories that we will never hear because of the atrocities that were done to us. So you need to know that, and you need to understand systematically how the laws, the policies have been used to keep us where they want us. Right? So that's all I wanted to say. Please keep reading, please keep learning. There's still time for you. You can get off this ride as soon as you want to, but like I don't want you getting caught up in a situation where you're hanging out with your white friends and they get into some craziness and then they throw you under the bus.
I've seen it.
Can I respond to him right quick?
I've seen it. Yeah. Go ahead, Munchkin. Yeah, go ahead, Munchkin.
So remembering or recalling what he's talking about, like my grandpa said, like don't, maybe I'm misrepresenting the quote, but like don't use food stamps, or like we don't need reparations. I think that kind of comes from like pride, like wanting us to have our own, wanting us to create and craft our own. And I don't think necessarily there's anything wrong with that in particular, but not recognizing that the detriment that has happened to our people on its own is like its own separate issue. So I think where the grandpa or where the grandparents were coming from is not necessarily wrong, but it is like a viewpoint that seeks to exclude, the actual detriment that's happened.
When it came to the food stamps thing, what he said was that when it comes to food stamps, most people actually sell it, which is just completely false on its face, because if most people were selling it, we'll have a huge starvation problem in our country, wouldn't we? You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that were really, really based on these stereotypes about people who are on these programs, and by extension Black people as well. But Psych, we did give you a lot to think about.
Hold on, this is for your Baptist. Y'all not going to absolve the church of its treacherous history. We're not doing that.
Baptist,
if you want to talk about,
I can't hear anything she's saying.
Okay, hold on. Can you hear me now?
I don't think she can.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
On.
Oh, they said
that's
that.
better. No, it just sounded like really muffled.
Okay.
And if you're not going to absolve the church on this, I don't have to answer your question because the topic is not about Christianity. And at this time, you could come back on Sunday if that's what you want to talk about.
Yeah, come back on Sunday.
Bye. And since you can't, and since I know you cannot respect boundaries because you, typical Christian, you don't have any. You're muted.
Yeah.
Bye.
And the thing is, when it comes to baptized, he's such a fan, bro. He's definitely gonna come here tomorrow. He's definitely gonna come back tomorrow because me and Bar do the thing on Sundays. So he's definitely gonna come tomorrow. He's definitely gonna be here. This is my politics week because it was Juneteenth, so I'm doing politics this week. Next week when I do the religion, I know he's gonna come right on back. Him and Chosen One, they are such fans of me, bro. I don't get it, y'all.
And him, and he never. And that, by the way, Baptist. I don't think I've ever seen Baptists come up on the panel.
Never.
He
never comes up. He's come up once, and it was a total shit show. He didn't want to speak.
I know. I take that back. It was that one time, and I read him for Phil. I read him. I know I did. I said, I love to go to the library. I read books and people. Okay.
All right.
You said and people.
All right, let's get back to Psych. Psych, I'm sorry because we did give you a lot to think about and take in.
Yes, and I barely got to answer. I barely got to ask only just one question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can ask us a question. Yeah, because you're still the only one in the queue right now. Just give me 1 second. All right, y'all. Listen, I really appreciate y'all here on TikTok. We're at 48K likes, y'all. Let me. What's my soundboard? What my soundboard effect at, y'all? Clap it up, y'all. I appreciate y'all getting me to 48K likes. Keep tapping that screen. Let's try to get to 65. We want to get this to the FYP. Have people come in here. If you're watching me from Twitch, I appreciate you. The link should be pinned for you to join. If you're watching me from Facebook as well, the link should be pinned to join. I appreciate also if you're watching me over on Volcy Thoughts, keep chatting over on Volcy Thoughts. Y'all, please don't bitch and moan in my comments about you getting muted or blocked. If you're saying something racist, my mods will block you. If you are just complaining in the comments and you don't want to come up, my mods will block you, because we tell people all the time, join the panel, or if you just bitch in the comments, we're just gonna block you. All right, so don't complain in my comments later that you couldn't chat anymore because my mods blocked you from the chat. If you're watching over on the Deconstruction Junction, I appreciate y'all there as well. The link is pinned to join. Once again, you don't have to insult me, you don't have to bitch and moan. Just click the link and you can join me and we can have the discussion, because I'd rather have a conversation than you just complaining in the comments. My bad, Kay, go ahead.
By the way, since it's Juneteenth weekend, I feel like it's only right to share a family history fun fact that I found out about my family, and I'm just overwhelmed with this information. So for those of you that don't know, Volcy knows because I always talk about my family from Tennessee. Okay, fresh pre-migration baby, and I just started my middle ancestry, 14 free trial, and I literally found something from the 1950 census from my family in Tennessee, and I just found out that my of the black women in my family, without a man, when black people and women did not have rights, owned land in 1950 segregated Jim Crow Tennessee. It is just mind blowing, right?
Oh man,
mind blowing.
Oh, we have Jay Summers up on the panel. Hey, how's it going, Jay? All right, Psych. Let's continue the conversation. Well, how's it going, Jay? I appreciate you. All right, Psych. Let's continue the conversation.
So that's for Black History fact.
That's also my Black History fact. Psych, what was your question that you were going to ask me?
My question is: so when it comes to only blaming do you only blame whites for our I'm gonna say Caucasians to be more specific. Do you only blame the whites for our downfall? Because I wouldn't necessarily. I can't blame all whites because, technically speaking, during the Great Divide, they were the Confederate states and the northern states were two separate.
Jay, give it a second. I'm give it a second.
Yeah,
Jay, I'm having trouble too. Believe me. Hold it. Believe me. I feel it too. Hold it.
I know. Just hold it for a second. All right. So let's reiterate what Psych was talking about. Do we blame white people? Because he can't blame all whites because technically during the time of the Civil War, there was a North and the South. And Psych, were you going to say that the North fought to free us?
Yes, and plus Thomas Jefferson.
You know he was.
And plus Thomas Jefferson. He was the one that got slavery to end in around
Thomas Jefferson.
Wait, Thomas Jefferson?
Are you talking about
Thomas Jefferson?
I thought
you mean the one who great Sally Hemings? Sally Hemings just.
Hold on. Let's hold on. And Midnight is coming right back up. I knew Midnight was gonna come back up. Wait. Everybody pause. We gotta let him. We gotta let him burn just a little bit because he's not cooking. He's burning. But let's. I want to take him to the roast. I know.
I'm like, let's let this. I'm gonna give me. I have 5 more minutes before I close the library.
I got you.
5 more minutes.
All right. So Psych, this is what we're gonna do. All right. We're gonna let you get it out, but try to do it in about a minute. All right. I'm gonna give you 1 minute. Try to go ahead and get it all out so we can go ahead and get into the discussion because I'm gonna sit back for this one. All right. So Psych, go ahead and get it all out. So to reiterate, do we just blame whites for our conditions and oppression in America? Because you can't blame all whites because some of them defended us, especially during the Civil War time in the North. And then you're going to talk something else about Thomas Jefferson. What else were you saying?
About Thomas Jefferson, I was trying to say that with the Northwest Ordinance in 1784, he got slavery to gradually end in the North. And so slavery was ended in the North due to the Northwest Ordinance in 1784.
Thomas Jefferson did.
Yes, in the North. Keyword the North.
Thomas Jefferson. This is some. Now,
Abraham Lincoln ended slavery overall in 1865.
Was that everything, Psych?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was everything. You guys can.
I'm gonna let Midnight go, and then Jay. I'm my brother after my heart. Read.
I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna listen real quick.
All right, Jay.
Okay, Jay. Jay, the library is open, honey. Read.
I was just curious. Where can I get this information from exactly? What book? What history major? I mean, not history major, but what history course are teaching this exact same thing? What can I get this information?
Well, you can look it up on US on the in the US.gov to be
US.gov.
and look up the Northwest border.
US.gov. Hey, listen. Oh, what happened to him?
He's
what
still
happened
here.
To...
He's still here.
Okay. I don't see. Oh, we're. Are they on the panel or?
Yeah, he's right here.
Oh, they're on the thing.
Yeah.
You said the US.gov.
Yeah, I meant the National Archives. I meant
the National Archives. So I'm just confused. If the whole intention of this nation is to enslave and to keep, because this country was built off of enslavement and the labor that African chattel slavery brought. I don't understand, how could you say that? And then if you say about freeing, there were those who freed the enslaved. What are black codes? What are the laws that came after the Emancipation Proclamation? And what about Jim Crow? Where are those white folks at that current time dismantling those set laws and policies and procedures? And also, if we're going to talk about, we say, systemic, and we talk about systematic. Systematic is basically when we talk about having blankly outward policies and laws of such as like different water fountains. You can't go here. You can't do that. You only can get this job where you're let's see, working under white tea people. I'm just trying to understand, just because you're saying about and freeing, what happened next? Like, what happened after that? Like, where are those white tea people then? What happened to them? The black codes, like what are we doing? Redlining, what are we doing? The GI Bill, what are we doing? Jim Crow, what are we doing? What's happening?
Well, back then, in the I'm gonna say the 30s to the 60s, to be more specific.
Ooh, also too, the convict leasing, through in that time. What are we doing? So you basically, the 13th Amendment states that no, you wouldn't necessarily be considered enslaved or indentured servitude unless you committed a crime. And I'm just trying to understand who wrote those policies and who enact those types of policies on a set group of people with no power. I'm confused. Make it make sense.
You there, Psych?
Yes,
I got the tongue.
But in the 30s and the 60s, throughout those years, with the uprising of the KKK, and how they necessarily...
No, I didn't ask you anything about the fucking KKK. I asked you about the policies, the laws that were presented after enslavement was abolished. In what theory? But on paper, it was not. We're still enslaved, by the way, FYI. But however, what happened to those good old white tea people that you claim help demolish slavery? What happened to those people, to the bad people, the bad white tea people start writing laws and policies that to enslave the same people that you talk about were fucking free?
Those people
Where
are
are they?
now.
Excuse me. Obviously they're fucking dead, dumbass. What I'm saying to you is, what happened to those people? What is the point of that when we went into actual these other policies, black codes, Jim Crow? What the fuck are we talking about?
Well, first it would have to start with after the Emancipation Proclamation and Andrew Johnson getting and reversing the 20 acres of the meal, 20 acres in a meal.
Okay.
So that's the first step in which I would say it would have first started with, because of Andrew Johnson.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, because I think that you're not actually understanding what he's trying to ask. What he's trying to ask is, all those white people so you're saying that we can't blame all white people for our oppression. However, all white people were standing by while Jim Crow, black codes, redlining, and all that still passed. A lot of them are still standing by. Yeah, I mean the small amount of allies that we may have, even they even admit that they don't have the power to do everything because other white people is still in the way. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when you say we can't blame all white people for our oppression because quote unquote some of us defended us after during the Civil War, which is really not true. They were defending the Union. But even if we give you that, afterwards you had black codes, you had Jim Crow, you had redlining, you had the war on drugs, you had mass incarceration. All of them were standing by while all this was happening, all the way up into the 60s when the hippies came around and they started protesting for us. You see what I'm saying? So what during this entire time of second-class citizenship, where were those allies? That's what Jay is asking. Am I correct about that, Jay?
Yes. Where's the United States .gov, wherever the fuck you got that information from? Where did you read about the other good old white tea folks? Where are they? Did you read about them too during that time where all the things that was basically stated? Where are they? What do they do? Did they do anything?
The good white folks are still around, and they did help us in the past.
Wait a minute, I thought you said they were dead. I thought we understand that they were unalive. They're no longer here, but you're talking about those who freed the African people.
I'm saying
shut the fuck up. Hey, listen. I don't know how you're able to listen to what I'm saying to you if you're too busy fucking running your mouth. What I'm saying to you is obviously we understand they're unalive, but we're talking about those good white tea people that freed the slaves. What happened within them history books you read? What happened after that? Did they dismantle any of these things that I just brought up? Black codes, the convict leasing program, the GI Bill. Did they do anything? Did you read them in those same fucking books?
I'm like, listen.
I see you right, Maccabi.
Yeah,
I'm like, Jay is a brother after my heart. You better read, Jay.
I don't think Psych heard everything because it looked like he dropped and then came back up. All right, Psych, there you are. You're not now you're back.
Yes.
Did you hear everything?
Yes. I think that was the worst thing that could have ever happened. But I'm sorry, sir. If it sounds like I'm interrupting you or doing whatever, I'm trying to have a logical conversation with you and a peaceful conversation with you because I don't necessarily want to argue.
I don't give a fuck about peace. We're done with peace, motherfucker. That's what I am. I'm done with peace. I'm straight up Malcolm X on your motherfucking ass. I don't give a fuck about no motherfucking peace. If anything, if it was up to me, I'm not gonna say what I want to say. I'd knock your motherfucking head between a wash and a dryer if it was up to me. But I'm gonna keep it straight. I'm gonna keep it professional. Shut the fuck up. You couldn't even expound on the simple fact is that those people that were freed, or you freed them white people, good old white people were freed the slaves, but you couldn't even tell us what happened afterward. Are you able to tell us that? What happened afterwards?
Those white people are dead. Most of those good white people are dead.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are we talking about? What are we doing?
There are still good white people around that help us and that care about us.
All right,
we can't deny that. I
got you. Okay, so Psych, I think what your point is, what you're trying to say is that when you ask who do we blame for our oppression, is it every single individual white person? Look, because hold on. I got you. Let me answer this question. All right, I got you. Let me just answer this because the reason why no one is answering that directly is because it sounds ridiculous. Of course, some 5-year-old kid named Tyler in Idaho, we're not going to blame him for the oppression. What we know is that he's going to benefit from our oppression. And when Tyler grows up, he may, because of the community that he grew up in, he's going to have racial assumptions about my son. Yeah, I mean, and that's how we end up with the Carmelo Anthony and the Austin Metcalf. You feel what I'm saying, Psych? So that's the issue that we're talking about. You feel me? There's a system in place. Do we blame some Cletus in Alabama with 5 teeth? No, not him. But we know there's a system, right? And we know that
if he said the wrong thing about that case, I'm gonna cuss you outside.
Oh yeah. But the issue, Psych. Let me just finish. That's the reason why people aren't answering your question like directly when you say that, because it sounds ridiculous. Of course, Cletus from Podunk, Idaho, with 5 teeth is not, at fault for the system being in place, but does he perpetuate it in his actions every day? Does he even know about it? Can he unconsciously perpetuate it? All these things are yes. You see what I'm saying? So like that's what we're talking about here when we talk about white people, not just the individual, but the concept in of itself of whiteness. Does that make sense to you now?
Yes, sir.
I
But
agree.
I have a question for y'all. Do y'all necessarily think I'm racist for being a Republican and not supporting Trump?
Nobody.
Well, you don't support
racist, bro.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We knew you was a Republican at that point.
Yeah, I knew you were conservative at some point. But go ahead, Midnight. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead, Midnight.
Nobody thinks you're racist. We know you can't be. You have no power. I repeat, you have no power.
I'm the child. That's why he's the type that believes everyone can be racist, though.
No, because right. Well, I mean, I'm aware of that because he's the type that harps on the second definition of racism, which is a socialized version of it. And honestly, again, we still can't be racist because we can't change a white person's life like that, bro. Like we cannot. We can't. And we can be bigoted. We can definitely be prejudiced, but we cannot be racist. Like, all right, psych. Real question: If we don't, how can we be racist if we don't have a superiority complex?
In my definition, you can be, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Shut your moronic ass up. Shut your moronic ass up.
What did I say? What did I say?
I knew.
What did I say?
I knew.
What did I say?
You can be racist.
All right, hold on.
What did I say?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Hold on.
Wait, I got you. I got everybody. Hold on. Everybody just pause me real quick. All right, psych. We know what you're about to read. The dictionary definition, the colloquial version that we use, which is prejudice against someone of another race or having a superior mentality. However, do you know that that's not the only definition of racism? There's a more accurate and academic definition of racism. Do you know about that one, psych?
And what's this one?
That one is not racism is more than just the prejudice belief, but it's also the system and or marginalizing a certain group of people, basically. And marginalizing mean to give to make them have put them in a powerless position, essentially. So racism is not just a belief, it's also the system.
Also, if prejudice is in the definition of racism, I hope I don't have to finish asking that question.
You don't. You don't. We get.
Actually, hold on, Kat. We have that conversation right now. Give a second. Midnight King. Is that okay? Midnight King. You know that you're gonna have to spell it out directly for him. You're gonna have to. I'm sorry.
I know that. I know because again, I know where he comes from, and I know that the education system absolutely corroborated this. I know it did because I grew up in.
My education system was perfect.
I'm not sure about that. You don't.
Clearly not.
There's a lot of history you don't know, bro. It's like there's a lot of history you don't know. So
hold on. You mean the same education system that only highlights chattel slavery for one page?
Holy
in the history books?
Really?
1 or 2 pages.
Are you dead ass? Are you dead ass? Like seriously?
Hey, dead ass. And I ain't even from New York. Like dead ass. 1 or 2 pages, and then they you get more pages on the Civil War.
Bro, what's crazy is down here in Florida, you at least get a chapter. 2 pages?
How big is the chapter?
Oh yeah. That chapter was not very big. At least when I was in high school.
Thank you.
That chapter was not very
Thank
big.
you.
The Civil War.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm about to be-
Now, of course, the Roman Empire got like 5 chapters in that history book, but chattel slavery got 1 chapter, and it was not very long. It was probably like maybe 7 to 10 pages. Not a very long chapter.
Right. Also, one thing that y'all are like not really aware of that New Bern has a huge stake in, well, North Carolina in general, is the fact that North Carolina was a really big fucking deal in the Civil War.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
we built I forget, they were the precursor to submarines. I forget what they were called.
No, I know what you're talking about. No, exactly what you're talking about. And
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and the Iron Maidens
they're little
too.
fucking warboats.
Yeah. And the Ironsides too. That's where they was created in North Carolina.
Yeah, we had a lot of battlegrounds out here, and we take. Matter of fact, hey, did y'all Tryon Palace? Have you been there, Psych?
Psych, have you ever been to Tryon Palace? You there, Psych? Did he get dropped again? He might have his internet might have went out again. But we'll wait for him to come back. Go ahead.
Right?
What's Tryon Palace?
So, right. Tryon Palace.
I've been to Tryon Palace multiple times.
There he is.
Okay, right. So when they take you on that tour, how like describe the tour. Give everybody a little bit of backstory on what you got out of the tour.
Well, Tryon Palace was the original governor's palace of New Bern. I mean, not New Bern, but North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And its original, and
New Bern was the original capital.
Capital of North Carolina before they switched it to Raleigh, of course. And Tryon Palace, it does have the slave quarters. It's a very beautiful palace. I like the garden. The garden.
Holy shit!
You're funny. You're funny. No, and yes, but they gloss over all of that because Governor Tryon was a menace. He was cruel and extremely violent to his slaves. That's the reason why they don't talk about how he treated them. But they did talk about the blacksmithing, and I know that because I know one of the guys that actually used to play the blacksmith, who was actually a blacksmith in real life, at the Tryon Palace tour. I grew up with him. Like the history that you are getting, like this point of view that you have. I mean, I understand where it comes from. Like I said, I do. It's a mixture of this Booker T. Washington type mindset, and I don't know, like it kind of bastardizes W.E.B. Du Bois' like train of thought as far as education is concerned too. It's weird, but I'm just saying, like
the only I don't hate black people. I love my black people. I love my race.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud to be a black African American. But when I get the minute people hear that I'm not a Democrat and I'm a Republican because I believe that the federal government should have less power than and the state should have more power, people automatically think, of course, oh, you're a Republican, you support Trump. So
no, I understand that you could be a Republican and not support Trump.
Let me get him.
Yeah.
Let me get him. All right. So, Psych, why would you want small government as a black person? When the government's the only thing that's providing laws to protect you as a citizen of this country.
You have to necessarily think about it this way. The states are the one putting the person in charge. Without the state government, the states technically are the ones that have all. Well, without the states, a president wouldn't be in power.
Would be illegitimate. Yeah. So, Psych, let me ask you a question, right? Because this goes to what Midnight is trying to get to, right? Jim Crow, that was oppressive for black people, correct?
Yes, sir.
Who put in Jim Crow? The federal government or the states?
The federal government.
Wrong. Who? You are so wrong. You are way off. It was the states. Jim Crow didn't. It was the states. Jim Crow didn't exist in Ohio. Jim Crow didn't exist in California. It was the states that put that in, Psych, not the federal government. Where'd you get the federal government from?
In fact, it was the federal government that ended Jim Crow.
Yeah, it was the federal government that ended Jim Crow. It was the states that put in Jim Crow. Where did you get that? It was the opposite, psych.
It's been a long time since I learned about slavery. Last time I learned about slavery was in middle school.
You went through all of high school without learning about any of this?
Hold on. First of all, that's outrageous.
I told y'all.
Yeah.
First of all, that's outrageous. And then for you to say that and say that your education was perfect. But outside of that, but let me hold on, Midnight.
I got you.
Outside of that, though, you do realize, and I'm not sure you do realize, Jim Crow is what happened after slavery. You do not understand that, right?
Yes, ma'am, I do realize.
Okay, great.
Okay, so you're bringing up slavery, and we're actually not talking. The Jim Crow part is actually not talking about slavery. It is is what happened after slavery, because white people were mad that they lost their property, i.e., black people. Okay. So you're saying that you're talking about states' rights. Do you concede that the idea that it was the southern states in particular where Jim Crow existed, and the fact of the matter is, it's actually the federal government as we speak that is literally the reason why that it ended. The Brown versus the Board of Education, the Civil Rights Act of 1965. Plessy versus Ferguson, all of these are federal. The Plessy versus Ferguson was a state thing with Louisiana that actually quantified the one drop rule into law. But actually, that's what Plessy versus Ferguson did.
Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it?
Now, Kay, can I add something else? Because I asked them that question for a very specific reason. The reason why they would want small government is so they could kill us with impunity, unalive us with impunity. Because who was going to come and save us? And it's not like you could defend yourself, because then they would unalive your whole family or your whole town.
And they have done that.
And they have.
Yes, they have. Are you familiar with the massacre of Wilmington, North Carolina?
Oh my God. But actually, my family is from Tennessee, and there was something similar that happened in Memphis in the 1800s.
It's happened in every state in the South.
Yep.
And I guarantee you that.
I live in Central Florida, and happened in Ocoee, Florida, about 20 minutes away from me. So
I thought you were gonna say Rosewood, bro.
And Rosewood too. Rosewood is about
Rosewood got a movie.
Rosewood got a movie. Rosewood about 2 hours and a half away from me. Is more southern, but it's like that. So psych. Back to the question that Midnight was asking you. Do you know about the massacre of Wilmington, North Carolina? Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. You know about it, psych?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, cool. He at least you know about that. You know about that massacre. Those things happen all over the South because there was a small government. They want to control their own territory, and in their territory, they can do whatever the hell they want with us. Right? They took the federal government for them to stop that. That's what I'm saying. So when you say that, the reason why people, especially black people, are extremely uncomfortable when someone says small government, because it brings us back to that. Make sense, like?
Right. Like that small government allowed, because here's what you may or may not know. Black politicians during the Reconstruction period were kicking white Southern politicians' asses.
Oh yeah.
We were getting positions of power out the gate, and things were changing in not only tremendous ways for black people, but for white people too. But they're not going to sit there and tell you that. They're not going to sit there and tell you that. They're going to put that on like a white person and whatnot. However, when they started moving like that and Jim Crow started becoming a thing, that small government mindset was the reason why they were able to massacre politicians or run them out of towns. That is the reason why they can have sundown counties and towns.
By the way, sundown towns still exist in America,
yes,
by the way.
And they listen, I Smithfield North Carolina, right now, you can go out to certain areas and still find KKK signage. Go to Danville, Virginia. It's on the border. It's on the border. Like, it's like I'm having a hard time not getting emotional about this because you're young. And it's imperative that you know this. It is imperative to your survival that you know this. And I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not playing with you. They will throw you away and not think twice. They will laugh about it.
And I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand how serious this is.
I will agree with Mr. Midnight. The reason why I moved over to hanging out with a lot of white people is because it helped me, because I needed that. I needed to perform better in doing a lot of things in my life to uplift myself, to become the person I am today, and get into a private college, and I have many good friends that I care about, and I have many good friends that are black that I care about, but I'm not racist.
Right. Let me try to.
As we just explained, you can't be racist.
You can't be.
But
so
we're not even going to go over that bullshit.
Right. So I need to understand like where you're coming from, right? Because you said that in order to perform better, you needed to be around more white people. In order to perform,
I always doubted myself as a child. I couldn't. As soon as I couldn't play basketball, I knew something was wrong with me.
Wait, but what? No, it's not something wrong with you just because you can't play basketball. You can play basketball, bro. Let's try to understand. Because this seems to go deeper than what we think.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I know, because this seems to go deeper than what we.
It hurts.
Mm-hmm.
This absolutely hurts to hear.
It does. Yeah. So that's why I'm trying to understand deeper where he's coming from. What do you mean? Because you couldn't play basketball, you knew something was wrong with you as a child? Like, that's wrong with you.
It mostly stems from my father. I don't like my father. My father left me. He may have helped me pay for college, but I don't like him.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, listen, not getting along with your father is something that's, beyond this type of life like this. But at the end of the day, your father not being around but still paying for your college. Sure, he wasn't the best dad. I don't want you to go into details because you don't have to divulge anything here, right? But your father is still just an individual. So the question that
let me tell you something. I despise the very sidewalk that my father would ever walk on, and I don't have those same anti-black mentality, son.
You're right. That's what I'm gonna get at. Are you attaching the image to your father onto like black people in general? If you really think about it, that's what I'm trying to ask. Because if it comes from there, I could get the source of it. I could get the source of everything that you believe right now. But you need to separate your father being a bad person from the entire black race. We still do that, right? We understand that white supremacy exists, but we know that an individual white person is not necessarily a bad person, despite the fact that white supremacy exists. Your father not being a good man is separate from what black people need to do and how we move in society. Does that make sense to you?
I think the first thing we should do as a society is get more black fathers to take care of their children. That's why I believe. That's why I want to become a family.
Well, I don't think we necessarily disagree with that, though. But that is an issue that needs to be addressed. However, that doesn't justify the anti-black things, the very anti-black sentiment.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. And psych, if you were invested in this, as you claim to be, or whatnot, you would see that studies have shown that black fathers are increasing in being very active fathers in their lives, much more so than many other races out there. But this is not about that. My thing is, there seems to be some sort of level of not necessarily self-hate, but personally, I like.
No, it's definitely self-hate.
Hold on. Yes, but like, it's he does not register it as self-hate, so it's self-esteem issues.
Well, of course he's not going to recognize it as self-hate. It's internalized.
No, I understand that. But I'm seeing this stemming from self-esteem issues too. Like when you mentioned the basketball thing, that was wild, bro. Because like, look, Neil deGrasse Tyson ain't good at sports.
Yeah,
he's still a great black figure in America. You don't have to rap. You don't have to play an instrument. You don't have to do all of these things to be just a really it's not funny. It's really not funny. Like
that's not what I'm laughing at. It's something completely unrelated.
I'm just no, it's cool. It's just like, bro, like you're spouting out stereotypes. Like, do you think you need to be good at dancing? There's plenty of black people that don't dance well.
We just not gonna normalize it. We
just don't normalize it. Yeah, we just dance to another rhythm. You know what I mean? But yeah, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean,
bro, like, I feel like I'm listening to somebody actually have a real life Uncle Ruckus. I'm acknowledging that I'm black moment, like that BET episode where he got the reality TV show about him learning that he's black. Like, it sounds like you feel like you need to like you need to wear Jordans. Like you need to play basketball. Or that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is you're pulling a bunch of stereotypes, a lot of stereotypes about black people, like out of your ass right now. And it's insane. It's insane.
You know what I'm doing? I'm sorry.
Let me just get this
go ahead, Kay, and then I'm gonna tell Psych what to do next. Go ahead.
Well, first, I do want to say, I promise you that wasn't what I was laughing at. I was actually laughing at because I've been on Hilly, and I'm like, and it said that my sign, Cancer, and the Scorpio dude are 90% compatible, and I died laughing at that because of Scorpios.
I fuck with Scorpios.
A Scorpio man, the demonic. Absolutely not. You gonna make me go back to my practice. I rebuke it. Okay?
I rebuke it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so Psych, this is what I want you to do with me for me, okay? Because there's a lot of things here that you need to deconstruct from. There's a lot of things that you need to unlearn and unpack. And look, I'm studying to be a counselor. Okay, I'm only about 6 months away from my license, so I want to go ahead and talk to you more about this. Do you have Discord?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, go to in my YouTube. Go to my bio. You're gonna see my Discord link for the Black Atheist Discord. Go ahead and join that. And then we'll talk.
We'll get dragged up in there, Volcy.
No. I'm telling him to speak to me. Speak to me. All right. So,
I'm like, don't have him speak to nobody else, but he's gonna get dragged.
Before I join, is this the atheist Discord?
It is an atheist Discord. But you don't.
My family is a very devout Christian family.
I figured we can still
we already knew that.
Yeah, we knew that. We can still speak. All right. We can still definitely speak. Just go to that Discord link. It'll make you join, but then you can unjoin if you want. Just hit me up in the inbox. All right.
Off topic again. They had the nerve to describe Scorpio men as monogamous and less likely to cheat. Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. And my father was a November Scorpio, so I had a personal vendetta against Scorpio men. Absolutely not.
I gotta go, man. I really gotta go. But Psych, brother, please, I'm
begging you.
I please. It's important because again, like if you don't know, you could really be putting yourself in serious danger. Serious danger. Because they're not going to care about your political affiliation. They're not going to care that you say all the mission statements of their little club and the guidelines and the bylaws and all that. Like, you have all the right rhetoric and everything. Like, they would sooner unalive you and laugh about it because he really drank the Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. And it's a bigger joke at that point. It's a bigger joke at that point. And it's probably because you're from New Bern that I'm going this hard, because like I got out of it too. I got out of it, and I had to, because there are nothing but small-minded people there. Nothing but small-minded people there.
The people in New Bern.
I followed you.
Yeah, I followed you 2 minutes. Follow me back. Psych. We gotta get to the next. So we gotta get to the next guest. But listen, like, hit me up on Discord. Let's really chat it up and talk about this, because like Midnight said, this is important. All right, like, your life is in.
Do not. I'm telling you, do not have him come up and.
No, I'm not gonna have him. I'm not gonna go crazy.
Do not have him talk to nobody else.
Talk to me.
You are going to get him jumped.
I know.
In that Discord.
All right, yeah. Just talk to me directly, and then we could talk more. All right, Psych.
All right, thank you so much, and I thank you so much. Is it Miss K? Is it Miss or Mrs.?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All right, I thank you so much, and I told Midnight I said thank you, and thank you so much, Mr. Volcy. Volcy.
Midnight's off the panel right now, but maybe he's in the he's in the comments.
Yeah, he in the comments. He said be well. All right.
I'm gonna be safe, Midnight. We both sent you a follow. You're more than welcome to come into. I'm sure Volcy will say that you're more than welcome to come back to the space anytime.
Yeah. Midnight, you're more than welcome to come back, of course. All right. So let's talk to Skunkle,
dude.
There we go, Skunkle. Yeah, I cannot see that. All right, Skunkle, how's it going? I think you're gonna be my last guest. I've been on for about 2 hours. Are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about?
Yes, sir. But I just wanted. I looked at them as questions. I just
gotcha. Skunkle, I do apologize. Can you give me 1 second? I do apologize. All right, y'all. I did get a super chat. I didn't want to miss it. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. We have Where is Waldo saying, thanks for educating when your current government refuses to and propagandizes against history in order to repeat it. Yeah, that is absolutely true. Thank you so much, Where is Waldo, for the $5 super chat. It is true that our government does not like to teach all of history because they want to repeat it. And we're seeing that happen right now. Appreciate the $5 super chat. And once again, if wherever you're watching from, if you're watching me from the Volcy Thoughts, if you're watching me from there we go. Yeah, if you're watching me from Volcy Thoughts, if you're watching me from Deconstruction Junction, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, the link is pinned, so you can go ahead and call in. I'm not reading all the comments, y'all. I'm not saying what's going on. So y'all figure that part out. All right, and I just want to go ahead and give another announcement. Clap it up and cheer it up. We hit 82K likes. This is the most likes I've ever had on a live, y'all. I really appreciate that. Thank y'all so much for being here and getting me to 82K likes. We are going not going to talk to Skunkle. Skunkle, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And which number did you want to talk about again?
Yes, sir. And I just wanted. I looked at them as questions, so I was just going to kind of answer the questions simply.
Oh, okay, sure. So I think America was never great. You agree?
I disagree.
Disagree. Okay, great. Let's talk about when America was great. It started in 1776, and it had slavery all the way up until 1865. Do you think that's great?
That's when the American corporation started.
I don't care. Is that great?
Did you hear me?
I heard you. What I'm saying is that I don't care when the American corporation started. Understood. That's not my question. So 1776 to 1865 was slavery, around 90 years or something like that. Do you think America was great then?
But actually, it was 1492.
I understand. I'm talking about when America started in 1492.
No, it was.
In 1492, it was still Britain. In 1776, that's when it became America. So, was it great during all those slavery years?
It was.
It was.
No, but no, I said no.
It's no. Okay,
you said it was great.
Right? No, I didn't. I said America was never great.
You said before 1492, it was Britain.
That is not, no. It was Great Britain. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Because those were one of the conquerors.
Yeah, I know.
It's actually that war.
I know.
America has always been.
Skunko, stop. I'm not sure if you're following me here. All right, we're talking about America. I said that America was never great, and you said that it was. So we're going down the years. Slavery is not a great thing, right? Now afterwards, you had object oppression of black people on paper all the way up until maybe 1969. All right. So do you think that America after 1969 was great? Because I don't think oppression and slavery are great things, right?
None of those things were great, sir. But I think you're not listening to me, because before 1492, when you said Britain controlled America, it was still America. These are the American Tamari Islands.
No,
Island.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and go to sleep or something like that. It was giving weird. It was giving weird.
Yeah, because I want to know when did you think that the 13 colonies in the 1400s were America?
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's so
weird. Like, also that's what kills me about like when the Black UKs be trying to get. First of all, I'm like I have an ongoing beef with the Black Brits, and I will and I'm like it just feels like it's always gonna be up and stuff. But one thing that kills me is when they want to talk about American imperialism and all those things, forgetting that the United States was literally under British rule. I'm like, are we just going to ignore the British Empire and all its centuries of terror and destruction? I feel like it's quite delusional to sit in the UK and talk about American imperialism. That's a different type of delusion.
Different type. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. It's insane. Well, what the hell was Buddy on, bro? We're gonna go ahead and get out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Hey, y'all, remember to follow KK. KK, let them know where you be.
Yes, I'll be over here, Marty. You can also follow all of my TikTok accounts, KK Reloaded 3, 4, and 5.
All right. We're going to drop you down just for a second. Y'all, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all so much for getting me to 84K likes. That is the most likes I've ever had on a live. Clap it up for yourself, y'all. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for doing that for me. Thank y'all so much. That's great. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so much, Waldo, for the $5 super chat. Once again, you can follow me on Volcy Thoughts at everywhere, on Discord, on Twitch, on Facebook, everywhere you can follow. Excuse me. Follow me at Volcy Thoughts. Y'all are wonderful. Y'all are great. Thank y'all so much. If you're watching me from Deconstruction Junction, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you're watching me over from the Volcy Thoughts channel, I appreciate you there as well. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow the channel. You guys are great. We are going to go ahead and see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.